Hey everyone, I'm Jared,
And I'm Bob.
and you're listening to Two Peas One Podcast. We sit we sit down with people and we interview them, and sometimes we talk to each other.
And some funny shit happens, so we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, we hope you enjoy, motherfucker. All right, hello and welcome, everyone. Yeah, there's a little theme song. Dude, that would be dope. This is your host, Jared Carter. I'm here with the one, the only, Bob Backstrom, and this is the Bobcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Whoever's listening, well, when they will listen to this when it gets recorded or shown out.
Uploaded.
Our first one's going to be out soon.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it will be out soon. Our first interview with Alex Garcia is completely edited now. I have a couple little things I want to do with like trying to add some music in at the start and everything like that. So I want to talk to Bob about that. But after we get the technicalities kind of figured out, yeah, the Bobcast is going to be officially out.
Sweet. And
who knows?
We'll just start flowing them.
Who knows? We might every week we'll have one out. That's the plan. Or every 2 weeks. We're not 100% sure, but it will be a semi-consistent drop because we have a lot of backlogged episodes. And then I want to like make a fucking logo. I want to make like all types of cool shit.
And someday maybe we'll do it live.
That would be insane. The Bobcast live. If anyone's worried about that.
Then you could like talk to people who are listening and chiming in and stuff.
I would love that. I was this weekend. We didn't film last week because I was in LA. And then I got back this weekend and I had 2 comedy shows, one in Chico and then one up in Redding. The one in Chico had an element of audience participation because the host was allowing the audience to pick the names for which comic would go next, which is really awesome to have like the fate of your comedic set be left in the hands of a stranger in your audience,
right?
But that's cool.
Do they actually pick names out of a hat, or do they just call names randomly?
It was like 50-50.
Oh, wow.
It was like, there wasn't really necessarily rules on that show. So, like, at one point, someone was like, well, I'm here to see this person, so why don't we bring up this person? And the person who was running the show was like, that sounds like a great idea. And then just...
That sounds awful.
That sounds miserable. Let's have comedians and give all of the control to the audience, because that's what makes a good show, is the comedian having no control over the audience.
Not at all.
Yeah, and so not only that, but also because of what the host was on, they were encouraging the audience to participate in all of our sets. So if you want to hear a joke or something, if you've seen us before and you want to hear one of our jokes, just yell out. Even if we're in the middle of another joke and it's going somewhere, just yell out that you want to hear this joke instead.
Oh man.
And so it was a fun show.
I'm sad I missed it.
It was a fun show. It was a good one. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for letting me on it. I probably won't be on another one of those shows for a while. Or ever. But I did go up to Redding on Saturday, and I performed up at Karma's up there with David Rodriguez and Dan McGowan and Ben Main. And then I saw...
I don't know any of those guys.
Saw Germ... Yeah, it's like, I didn't realize what people meant when I joined the Chico comedy scene. And they were like, oh, all these people are just brand new. Because to me, I was like, oh, I don't, these guys must have been in the scene forever. Because it was like Phil from Chico, Dylan Collins, Jake McCowan, like all these guys that I had started with. And now none of them are in the scene anymore. Right. The only 2 people, or the only 3 people who are really still actively in the scene are Germ, Amber Pace, Annie. Well, I guess there's 4. Annie and Dawn. And Dawn's the most out of all of them. Like, Dawn's out at the show every night at Bella's. But besides that, like, you can go to the open mics 3 weeks in a row and you might not see Amber, Germ, or Annie at any of those open mics, And I know there's other people who have been around in the scene for longer, but they're trash and I don't talk about them. No, I'm just joking. I like Jacob McLean. But yeah,
He was on our show.
Jacob was on our show. We interviewed him one time. He is also a funny comedian. But yeah, I mean, it was just being up there in Reading and like just seeing how much more professional the Reading shows are run than our Chico shows, when like literally 2 or 3 years ago when I was performing up here in Chico, it was completely the opposite.
Was it an open mic or like a show?
No, it was a showcase on Saturday.
Well, some Chico shows that run professionally. But
some Chico shows are, but I got booked for one of those and then didn't show up, so I don't get booked for those anymore. But
I don't know. You know a guy now, so
I know a guy. Hopefully, I've atoned for my sins. You know, like, hopefully the Catholic upbringing will kick in for fucking Bob, and he'll be like, oh, okay, you know what? Say 7 Hail Marys, and you can get booked for the February show. No, but it's good. You know, I'm happy that the Reading scene is growing, but also I'm just like immensely disappointed in how far we've fallen.
Right.
As
Chico
Chico
should be better than Reading.
We should be.
In every facet of life.
Especially in art.
Yeah.
Like, we have a college down here. We should have way smarter comedians. Like, why did they have better wordplay than us? Right. Like, what is going on here, you know? And that's partially my fault, because I just talk about dicks and pussies on stage. But besides that, you know, like, it was very much so just kind of one of those things where I was like, I was really impressed at Reading, and then I was also just like, okay, we need a lot more work to do. And, I mean, we just don't have the amount of rooms right now. When I started, we had the Lab, we had the Down Low, we had the Maltese, we had not Bella. Well, yeah, we had Bella's, and then we had the Studio Inn.
Right.
So that's 5 mics. You could go to.
I don't think there was ever 5 all at one time.
All at one time, but theoretically, you could go Down Low on Monday, you could go to the Lab on Tuesday, you could go to the Studio on Wednesday, and then you could go to the Maltese on Sunday when I started. So, yeah, that's only 4 mics, but, like, you could, especially with those 3 back-to-back, I feel
like there are never 4 at once. I think for a while there was 3, and I was like...
Oh, someone's here. Hold up.
There's 3 open mics.
All right, but yeah, so basically to wrap up what I was saying, I'm an extremely disgruntled, non-professional local comedian. But yeah, you know, it's good. I'm really excited for this episode. I think that this guest is going to be amazing. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Bob Backstrom so I can give the introduction.
I met this guest in DNA's infamous comedy classroom where we learned so much. No, just kidding. Don't put that.
Okay, all right, I did that.
And I'm probably going to butcher your name, but I want to try without you telling me. And then if I say it wrong, please correct me. So today on the podcast, the Bobcast, we have Roxeanne Vitavek.
You got it right.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Nice. Welcome, Roxeanne. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, welcome.
I got one quick question for you. What ethnicity is that last name?
It's Slavic, so Slovenian.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's very unique. I like it.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to time you. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to tell the people what you want to hear about yourself, something you think's cool, whatever. You got 60 seconds. Ready to go.
Okay. I'm Roxanne. I'm 37. I'm a local comedian who's kind of just getting into it. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter. I am a dog owner. I have a long-haired miniature wiener dog who's blind. I am a therapist. I work with kids and teens. I teach at Chico State for the MSW program. What else is there that I think people should know about me? Let's see. I think that this is like a defining moment in people's identity of like whoever their first crush was. Mine was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Maybe that's why I'm a therapist now. Who knows? I am a big believer in what you give is what you get. So when you, give positivity and love into the world, you receive it back.
I agree.
And that's kind of, I like yard sales. That's me in a nutshell.
60 seconds. Nailed it.
Wow.
Nice.
That was a good timing.
Yeah, that was great timing.
Yeah. Wow.
That is a good, we never really talked about that.
First crushes?
No, how you could use it as like a time to like wrap your head around what is 60 seconds. Because we've never actually verbalized that before. But I thought I was doing that, but I never really said I was doing that. And then you said it today, so it's good because it's good to know. Especially all you comics out there, you should know what 3 minutes feels like or 2 minutes. and you should recognize what a light looks like.
Outside of the bedroom.
Ever go out over the light, especially at one of my shows, because I will fucking roast you because I'm tired of it. But my last show, not one person went over the light. It was awesome.
Were they all women?
No, there was one woman, Olivia.
Yeah. I run the light every time I'm on a show, you know, because like
Hence,
I just like
number 2 reason why I'll never book you for my show.
Like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to stop this? You know, like, no, actually, it depends how good I'm doing. Sometimes I'll do like way less time if I'm doing really bad. You know, I'll be like, F this and just dip out. You know. But so one question that I had for you, you know, you're obviously, it sounds like you're teaching at Chico State, you're a therapist and everything, and you said you kind of recently got into stand-up comedy. So I'm wondering, even though you know, you've had all this success in your professional life, what kind of led you to wanting to start stand-up?
Sure. Yeah. Honestly, I think it was going through like a pretty tough breakup.
Gotcha.
Of like, and this, you know, I think what really got me is I've always known that I was funny. I've had people my entire life tell me you should do stand-up comedy. I just didn't really have the guts to do it, even though I had the guts to do all this other stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And my ex-boyfriend would always say I wasn't funny, and I was like,
Oh, fuck that.
I know, it's like, no, you're not funny, and you just want to fucking be me.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can't be me, so you're gonna just break me down. So then when we broke up, it was kind of like I started just doing all the things I wanted to do, and I saw I started doing improv, and I really like improv, but I'm not quick enough. Like I'm an intellectual. I need to think about things. Like I'm very methodical in what I do. And then I kind of discovered these like classes for stand-up, and truly it was just a place to do it.
Gotcha.
That wasn't an open mic. Because if I went to an open mic night, I probably would have never gone back, right? Because I would have failed.
Exactly. Open
And
mics are the worst.
I would have failed, and I'm an overachiever, so the failing wouldn't have propelled me to go back and do better. It would have been like, I'm just not good at that, whatever, moving on.
Gotcha.
Here's another hyperfixation.
I feel like that happens to a lot of people. A lot more people. That's why on my shows I try to bring someone in that's never done it before, or that's been wanting to, but just doesn't want to do an open mic. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you a nice safe space to do 5 minutes, and then if you like it, write more jokes and get your ass kicked at some open mics for a couple of years.
And I think with stand-up comedy, it's been an outlet for me, right?
Yeah.
Like it's been this place to kind of talk about me and my experiences, and I'm more of a storyteller that finds the funny. But it's truly been like an outlet. So part of me wishes I would have actually pursued this kind of thing years ago. Because and I'm not just saying this to be like, you know, tooting my own horn, but I think it could have been something I could have been semi-successful at, right? But I just feel like, you know, I'm an old girl now, like, and I've got a career and I have a life that I like, so it's turned into something that's just a really positive outlet for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, for one, don't think that you're too old to find success in comedy or anything. Like, I don't think that there's anything like that, because honestly, like, at the stage that you're at, you've found like your voice, you know, in a way that a lot of younger comedians don't have that. So like knowing your limitations and knowing like, oh, I'm not, you know, a pivot off of this. I'm gonna work my material out and have this, and like you're already off to such a better advantage than a lot of comedians who like their first 5 years of doing comedy is just figuring out, okay, what do I want to say?
Yeah.
You know, and they're not even thinking about, oh, okay, this is where I'm strong at and this is the points. So I definitely think that, you know, it's cool that you're starting it when you are, and then having that professional knowledge and everything. You must have so much like stories and interactions and stuff that you can draw on for.
Yeah, and I toyed around with kind of like bringing like my job into comedy as far as like doing therapy, but then it felt a little bit like, you know, it like talking about my experiences with clients, and obviously I'm not sharing specific information, but it just never felt good for me. It never felt natural. It felt really forced. So I do bring it in a bit, but I more so bring my professional life, like as far as like, oh, it's pretty ironic that I'm a therapist and I will do anything to avoid love. You know what I mean? Like,
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm super avoidant. So, and I have, you know, they haven't diagnosed me with ADHD. He was like, you're too functional.
Yeah.
You probably have ADHD. But it's like, you know, kind of joking about like, hey, I'm like super successful in all these ways, but yet like I can't a relationship is like where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that. I'll get my PhD before I get a fucking boyfriend. You know what I mean? That's kind of like where I draw the line.
Hey, fair enough. I don't have degrees or a relationship, so I mean, like, doing better than I. That's cool though. How since you started, has that ex-boyfriend has he hated on you for any of the shows or anything?
No,
have you noticed anything like that?
No, he. I don't really talk to him. Right?
Gotcha.
Like I don't.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people. I don't wish him ill. Like it was one of those things where it was like, look, like we're just not a match. And I knew if you're a good. I shouldn't say this, but like. I am a behavioral interventionist as well, so I do a lot of like, how do you retrain a behavior? You know what I mean, with families and children and stuff like that. So I can see a set of behaviors and kind of know, well, what's your motivation, right? And so I understood that his low self-esteem is what caused our relationship to fail. And that means the people in his life failed him. So I don't have any ill will against him, but I'm not going to let you hang around. You know, you gotta go. You know, I'm not doing this with you anymore. You know, I'm like, all I need you to do is mow the fucking lawn. You know, like, you got a sweet gig with me, you just mow the goddamn lawn. You know? So I don't wish him any...
figuratively.
Well, and I'm not gonna set up a token system for my boyfriend. Like, could I behavioral model you to get you to mow the lawn? Sure, probably, but I'm not mixing work and pleasure like that, you know?
So, no, I mean, I think if I did see him, I would tell, obviously I think I would tell him like, hey, I started doing stand-up comedy, I'm actually like...
And I'm funny, so
I'm
fuck
pretty
you.
Yeah, that's what I got, yeah. And I'm fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And
I talk shit about you all the time.
Yeah, half my material is just you.
I don't think he would be able to have a conversation with me without him crawling in his skin.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? I think
He's that, like...
Yeah. I think he has a lot of anxiety. I think that there's a lot of stuff he tried to mask.
Gotcha.
And again, that just means the people in his life failed him. And that's like the double-edged sword of like being in this world. I'm like, oh, you fucked me over so hard, but I understand why, so I have empathy for you. You know what I mean? But it means I can let it go, right?
Yeah.
I can let it go too, which is great. But that's kind of what drew me here was like, even though it was good to have him gone, it was like, oh, the guy that's been in my life for the last 2 years is now gone. Yeah. And I'm lonely and I'm sad and I need an outlet. And then I was around people and, you know, I'm around people all day, every day, but I'm putting out their fires or whatever it is. So it was nice to do something just for me. And that's kind of what it's become. It's like this thing that I can work towards and craft and I'm creative. You know, my brain is very alive and I think I figured out ways to harness my brain power. And it's not in this box that people want me to be in. And it's been cool to be able to get out of that box and be noticed. Okay. You know, if that makes sense?
Of course.
Noticed in a positive way.
Yeah, of course it makes sense. Yeah.
In your 60-second introduction about yourself, you said something at Chico State, a couple letters.
Yeah, I've done some guest lectures, but I'm teaching my first full semester.
Nice. What was it, a subject? You said something like...
Oh, for the MSW, so the Masters of Social Work program.
Masters.
So that's what I got my graduate degree in, and so I'll be teaching a class.
Are you currently teaching at Chico State?
No, I do guest lectures right now. And then I also supervise interns in the program. So the agency I work for, we have interns. I supervise some of them. So I kind of help them, and a lot of it is like, hey, here's how you do the job, like productive supervisions of like, here's how we keep track of everything. But a big part of it is, hey, working with this kid is bringing something up for you. Let's talk about it. How do you compartmentalize that and then be able to do the work? You know.
And then what degree do you have?
I have two. I have a bachelor's in child development. I wanted to own a preschool at one point, like my own center, and then it kind of turned into finding therapy. So now I have a master's in social work.
Nice. And they're both from Chico State?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Are you born and raised in Chico?
Yes. I love Chico.
Chico or PV?
Chico High.
Nice.
It's so cool to me that...
Bad girls.
It's so cool to me that not only are you lecturer, because we've also had another lecturer from Chico State on the podcast.
Alex, she's actually the one that introduced me to Alex and
oh, okay, that's
told
awesome.
me, because she flaked on me, but she gave me like a month notice.
Yeah.
Unlike some people.
Whoa.
But then she's like, oh, you should have Alex do it. She's hilarious. So Alex was on my show. She killed it. She was our first guest. She killed it. So thanks again for that.
Yeah.
But then also just having someone who's familiar with like ABA and stuff, and at your level, you would have like been in a supervisor position for the levels that I was working at, because I was down in LA, like RBT license, like
so
that
like with
type.
autism and stuff.
Exactly.
So
Sounds like you're doing more social work though.
Yeah. So I'm doing more mental. I'm like a mental health therapist.
Yeah.
However, autism really creeps in. We see a lot of like dual diagnosing.
It's tons
with
of
that.
crossover. Yeah.
I didn't do ABA. I'm familiar with it, but I
Gotcha.
do have a background of treating autism for like intervention programs for like young ages, and basically like behavioral sets of skills on how to if you're a parent.
Yeah.
Hey, here I'm gonna help you communicate with your child in this way, or I'm gonna help you play with your child in this way. That's going to help you find the connection, even though it might not be what you dreamed of your connection being with your child your entire life. I'm going to help you find it, and it's going to be beneficial for boundaries and, like rules, and like here's the things that your kid has to do to get through life, to have a, and if we're talking about somebody who like on the spectrum who has like a higher level of skills, right? I work with plenty of people where I'm like, look, your kid is going to be a completely normal functioning adult. They're just going to be a little quirky.
Yeah.
Here's a different way to communicate with them where they're going to hear you.
I feel like that must really be advantageous in comedy to communicate with other comedians as well. Like, especially you get farther in the industry and you're gonna realize like most of us are undiagnosed.
Well, I can like clock it. I'm like, something a little.
No, that was immediately one of the first things I noticed because, social work and ABA and the behavioral, therapy technicians, all that stuff, they kind of like intercede in these weird ways because like, even though I'm supposed to only be with autistic kids and you're supposed to only be with like, people going through homelessness and stuff like that, I'm working with clients who have these diagnoses because they have drug psychosis and they have, stuff from they came out of the womb addicted to drugs and stuff like that. And then, you just see that crossover. And to me, it's always one of those things where it's like, this is hilarious. But then when I start trying to tell people who don't work in the field, like with my jokes about what happened to me today was hilarious, most of the time they're looking at me like that's like their eyes are wide open. They're like, I can't believe you went through this. Are you okay? And I'm like, that was a regular Tuesday for me, like.
Well, that reminds me of when I first started doing comedy, I would kind of have these like complicated jokes where you really had to know what I was talking about or you really had to follow me. And I noticed that, people don't get it because they're not in this world.
Yeah.
And one of my bits that I was working on is like, what are my icks? Like, what if a guy started dating me and once I'm past the 6 weeks of look how cool and exciting I am and how fun and pretty I am, once the real me came out, what would be my icks?
Yeah.
And one of them was, I'm such a horrible typer. Like, my texting is out of control. It's so bad. Like, sometimes I read back through my documentation for my work, and I'm like, oh my God, these typos are... This is so irresponsible of me.
Yeah.
Anyways, one of my jokes was, you have to sign an informed consent before you start texting me.
Yeah.
Because, and it's silent. No one got it. And I was like, you guys don't get it. You know what I mean? Because it's not like a,
You've never even heard of HIPAA before.
Yeah, you have to like sign these consents to make sure you're okay with getting these text messages from me where you don't know what it says. I get that of like, and I kind of had to switch what I wanted to do comedy about because I needed to reach more people. So it was like, okay, I think I can keep some of that because that's who I am, but how do I sway it in a way where it's going to be funny, but it's going to be digestible for everybody?
Yeah, universal topics.
Yeah.
It's really hard with like, especially, when you're serving people and especially underprivileged people and like that's your whole entire job is sometimes you just have the craziest days, and
Oh my God.
you just can't even tell someone, because not only are you not allowed to, because patient confidentiality and all that stuff, but then also too, you're like, I couldn't even explain to you because this is just normal for me, you know.
And luckily, I work for an agency, so I work with a bunch of other therapists. So it's nice that I have these people that I can confide in to be like, oh my gosh, I just need to call you and tell you what happened. Or I do a lot of family therapy, right? Yeah. So then it's like a lot of like venting after of like, oh, I'm so frustrated. Or also this exists too of, oh my gosh, there was a breakthrough, right? And those are the things that are really nice to share, but you need your people who understand. Yeah. And when you don't have that, that's when those kind of jobs where you work with people in that way can be really isolating, you know?
Definitely. Yeah, I remember even with some of the kids I was working with, like the patients, you know, their behaviors were, you know, hard, but then the parents or the caregivers or those behaviors were the ones where you were like, oh, I have to go see Dan today. You know, you're like, oh gosh, you know, it's not even the patient, it's the stepdad or something, and you're just like, oh man, you know.
And and I see this a lot, right? Yeah. Like the behavior that you want to change in the kid, chances are someone in the house is doing it. Yeah. And they're learning from that, right? When you get angry, you throw a plate at the wall, you're wondering why little Timmy throws stuff at the wall when he gets angry, right? Yeah. So it's really helping people to see that, hey, you've been functioning in this way for so long. Why? Yeah. Let's help you do something different.
That's what happened with all the other comedians canceling on you, and I just saw them, and I was like, I learned their behavior, you know. I was like, oh, this is just what everyone does, you know.
The learned behavior.
It's the learned behavior. You can't even hold me responsible.
Damn it.
That's cool though.
So real quick, I was gonna tell him this story when we first started, but I never did. I want to get your opinion too. So about 3 weeks ago, I come home from work. I was working nights now. I work days. Thank God, so much better. I came home from work. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I pull in my driveway, and right behind my girlfriend's car is a fucking 12-pack, an assorted IPA 12-pack of Sierra Nevada beer. I was like, huh. Looking around, like, this is weird. It was warm, not ice cold. It was a little cold because it was cold out. I was like, this is really weird. There was no note. Nobody texted me, hey, Bob, I dropped off a 12-pack of beer. I used to know a shit ton of people who worked at the brewery, so that could have happened. Now I really don't. So I go inside. I put the beer actually outside because my girlfriend, being my girlfriend, would be like, I don't know what that is. I don't know if someone peed on it. I have a couple of enemies. They might have like thought it was hilarious to pee in a bottle and then put the cap back on and be like, Bob's going to drink this piss, which I would not. So I left it outside the next day. I was like, hey, babe, I came home last night. There's this 12-pack. She's like, don't drink it. Throw it away. Get rid of it. So I just like sat under some shit for like a couple weeks. And then yesterday she's like, will you please throw this away? But like, you can't just throw away a 12-pack. So I was going to like, last night, because it was Sunday, I was going to open each bottle and dump it out and throw it in. I was like, no, clearly someone would want this. Jared might want this.
So it's in my refrigerator.
Even if he doesn't want it, maybe he'll know someone that wants it. So it's in his refrigerator. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's someone who is giving me a gift but putting it in my driveway, not on my front porch? What we actually think it is there's like a 16 or 17-year-old kid who's a grandson of our neighbor. And we think somehow he got a hold of it and he was like stashing it there while he was going to deal with his grandma and grandpa and then like come out and drink it at night or something. But then me being in the house, I took it. So what do you think it is, or how it got there?
I'm gonna let her answer first.
I don't know. I mean, it could be like somebody had the address wrong. They're like, hey man, I'm dropping off this pack of beers for you, and then it just happens to be the wrong address. That's what I would assume. Yeah. That it was just a mistake. Because if they dropped it off at night, maybe they put it.
But it was very weirdly placed, like in the middle of the driveway. Like, I don't know, if I was dropping off something for someone, I would put it on their porch. Or even ring the doorbell and say, here's the gift. Or if I wanted to be cute and fun, I'd put it on the doorstep.
My intuition would be not to drink it.
Right.
My instinct is drinking.
That's why I gave it to you.
But I'll explain to you my thought process, okay? All right. Let's say an enemy went through the trouble and like put each bottlehead up their butt cheeks and like you're sipping on, you know, refined ass every time you fucking take a sip, you know? at that point, you have to admire the hustle, you
Right.
know? Because not only did they go out and spend, it's a 16 pack or a 12 pack? 12 pack. So that's like a good like
$20.
Yeah, 20, 25 bucks at the Sierra Nevada. So they had, and it's assorted IPAs, which you can, I'm pretty sure, only get at the Sierra Nevada gift shop or like a couple high-end liquor stores around here. Mm-hmm. So I mean, like he had, I'm assuming it's a guy.
It's totally a guy if it's malintent, because a woman would never do that.
I don't think she would put it on the porch and there'd be like a note.
Yeah, it'd be a nice note. I think it would be a lot more like Trojan horse. But she did shove him up her ass.
No,
if a girl was getting revenge on you, it would have been way more Trojan horsed. Like it would have been like, here's a nice gift, you know, and then once you drink it, she'd be like, so did you enjoy those beers? Yeah. Because they were in my pussy. You know what I'm saying?
But is that a bad thing?
I don't know. That's up for you to decide.
I mean, if they were like 80-year-old homeless dude's urine, that would be disgusting.
That's pretty funny.
But if they're in a girl's vagina, I don't know.
But homeless, so I mean, like the options are
depends on the vagina.
A homeless guy peed on it. But if a homeless guy peed on it, he doesn't have the money to buy the beers, right? And he doesn't have the time. Like he doesn't. Nobody's homeless and has the wherewithal to put all the peas into the bottles.
It definitely wasn't a homeless person. No. Nor is a homeless person giving up a 12-pack, even if it might be pee.
But does it sound like maybe like a comedian you don't like could have drank one of them, filled that one up with piss, resealed it, and then put it back into the 12-pack and just was like having you play beer roulette? Like
maybe, but it is.
That would be hilarious.
It seems unopened, like sealed.
It didn't look like it was open.
Right.
So that's why I'm gonna drink them.
I just wish we had like one of those cameras on our fucking keyhole. So
like a ring camera?
Yeah, we could have seen it, because I just would have loved to have seen what happened. Or know what happened, because I'll never know. Unless a friend's like, hey, did you ever get that 12-pack I gave you on your driveway? I'd be like, you motherfucker, why didn't you put a note?
Well, I'm a believer that sometimes things happen for a larger purpose.
Oh.
So maybe this is your sign to finally get that security system.
Yeah.
Get yourself a ring camera.
Someone could have just accidentally left it there, and like the good thing is like now I'm probably gonna be drunk tonight. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the higher purpose for me. It's like,
oh man.
For me, it's worked out in a very good way.
I'm so glad I gave it to you, and I will make sure that Donna listens. This is episode 5, which we didn't say in the beginning.
Yeah.
This is our 5th episode, and I'm going to make sure Donna listens to it, because she will love this entire conversation.
Well, and I think, too, like, even if, like, let's say one of the beers in there is piss, all right? Unless it's, like, the first 3 beers I drink, I'm probably not going to know. You know what I'm saying? That's going to the grave, you know what I'm saying? And right. Even there's been times that I've taken a sip of an IPA and I've been like, is this fucking piss? So there's no way that I'm gonna like be able to in the moment, you know?
Oh man, you were the perfect person to give it to.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think an IPA bottle would be a good, like, if you were gonna try to trick someone with piss, you would want to choose like lemonade, because there's no chance someone's taking a sip of lemonade that's actually pee and being like, wait, this doesn't taste like lemonade. Right. But with IPAs, like if you gave someone a hot fizzy piss and was like, enjoy your IPA, I would think probably like most of those guys, I think people who drink IPAs are liars. I think they're like, oh, I love the taste of it and it's complex, and it's like, no, you just want fucking 9% beer. Just be honest, you know?
I will say, I can't drink them anymore, but I love a double IPA.
Oh, really?
It is like fucking candy to me.
Oh, shit.
It is so fucking good.
You don't drink, or you don't do gluten?
No, I do gluten. I don't drink as much anymore. I'll still drink every now and again, but I was in, everything comes back to our relationships, but I was in a relationship that was very short, but very abusive. And it was kind of like, how the fuck did I get here? And I wasn't drinking, but it was kind of like, I needed to change something, so I just found I was happier with less alcohol in my life.
That's fair.
But I still drink. I enjoy wine. I love wine. I'm like a basic bitch. Like, I love wine tasting. I like beer, but I can't drink. They tear me up. I love the way they taste. They're so good. So now I'm like a Modelo light beer kind of gal. Oh, nice. But I'll fuck up a vodka soda. And I like a gin martini.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Hendrix.
You
Hendrix
like
is the
mojitos?
only gin I'll drink.
Oh, I like Hendrix.
Because
So
I think
good.
Hendrix or gin tastes like soap, except for Hendrix is delicious. I'll even drink it like on the rocks with just some lemon juice in there.
It's very good.
Do you like mojitos?
I do like them. It's not my drink of choice, just because like if I have a few of them, it's like it's too sweet.
Gotcha.
I'll have one, but I'm more of a vodka soda water.
Oh, I love vodka sodas.
Yeah, like they're refreshing to me.
Yeah.
They're light. They're easy to drink. I'll catch a good buzz.
Do you like straight vodka?
I do not like straight vodka.
Do you? Does anyone like straight vodka?
I wasn't a big fan of straight vodka until I drank down in LA with my friend who's a rabbi. I drank with him and his two, they're a couple, they're his two friends that they were in the Soviet Union and they left because they were Jewish. And you drink vodka with Russians and they are like, this is how we do it,
right.
you know, and they're like, this is vodka or whatever they call it. And then how they do it is it's 3 back to back, and then you just space it out, and they have all the right stuff. So it's while you're eating dinner and shit. And to be honest, you didn't even really taste it because of how they do it, and it's just small shots back to back and stuff like that. And then before you know it, you're just smashed, you know? And that's literally what the dude was saying. He was this old Russian Jew. And he was like, you don't drink just to drink. He was like, why do Americans have one beer? The only reason you would want to drink alcohol is to get fucked up, you know? And that's how the Russians are with their alcohol. So, I mean, when I drank vodka with him, I had a really good time, you know? But I think it might have just been the environment and everything. I don't know if I would just casually sip on a vodka bottle, you know?
Right.
But with him, it was really fun.
We're always amazed when we watch TV, TV shows and movies. There's always people drinking straight vodka. And my only thought is that just because it looks just like water, so you can just put water in to get away with it. But everyone, and then I know some people who actually will get a bottle, a shot of straight vodka at a bar or vodka on the rocks, which to me seems disgusting.
High-end tequila. High-end tequila I will drink just straight.
Totally.
I like tequila.
Or high-end whiskey too.
Well, whiskeys for me, I used to be a big whiskey guy, but they actually kind of hurt my stomach now even more than the clear alcohols do. If I'm being honest, I would rather have 3 or 4 shots of vodka or tequila, because I feel the hangover from that isn't as bad as if I had 2 whiskey doubles or something like that. I don't know. And also I kind of get fight drunk when I get on whiskey.
I could see that.
Yeah, it brings the Irish out of me. Whereas when I'm on vodka or tequila, I'm just kind of I do a little salsa, you know, I'm just moving my shoulders. It's a good time though. It's cool. We learned all about your drinks and stuff. When you go out, do you drink before you do comedy?
I have once, and I had a really good set.
Yeah.
I did a show last weekend, and I had a good set. I really liked it. Typically I don't though.
Yeah.
I like to be clear-headed, and I think I would just fall. I think I would be really funny if I were buzzed, but I think I would also kind of just, who knows where I'd go with it.
I think 1 or 2 is perfect.
Yeah, and that's what I had done, because I had,
yeah.
Normally I don't tell people when I'm doing shows just because, but then people found out and they're so I kind of let a bunch of people know I was doing it. So
Gotcha.
I had a couple drinks before, just, and I was a little bit buzzed, nothing crazy,
Gotcha.
but it was a good set.
So coming from a promoter, you should always tell people you're doing shows.
I know.
People book you, so you'll tell people, so people will come.
Coming from a performer, don't ever tell anyone you're doing a show. Keep that shit close to your chest.
I think 10 people came to the show, 4 of which I didn't, no, 12, because 2 people I work with, I work within the school systems, so I go to the schools, I do therapy with the kids there, but I don't work for that school. But from one of the schools, a principal and the vice principal came with their wives.
Nice.
And that was fine, you know. Yeah. And now it's we have a good relationship, so it's good. And then one of my bosses and her husband came.
That's
and DNA put on the show, and I was like, this is my boss. And he was made a joke, not for long. And I was like, trust me, I say way worse inside the office.
I'm sure, yeah.
I be saying some weird shit, you know.
Okay, so now I have a question about that. You brought 12 people to a comedy show. Were there tickets sold at the comedy show?
Yes.
How much was the ticket?
$10.
Did you make $120?
No, I did not.
The comedy show. Those damn fucking comedy producers.
I didn't make any money, and that's why it feels a little bit more just like something that's for me, that I'm not super committed to, because I know there's not a whole lot of benefit for it other than my own outlet.
You brought $120 to the door and
you didn't get paid?
A penny?
Holy crap. Do you want me to bookmark that?
Yeah.
Do you want me to leave that in? Or because I would like to leave that in just to show people. Yeah, it is ridiculous.
And this is like, and there's a level, right? And like, hey, let's.
So now I know the show I'm doing for DNA next week, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
You might.
I would say yes. You're not getting paid.
But I
Well,
want
that's
to
okay.
I think this is a good opportunity to kind of reflect on something I said earlier of like, I think I'm too old to do this world now, right? Of men and women have very different perspectives of the world, right?
Fair.
So I understand that when I do stuff, that chances are, whether it's like, if we think about my agency that I work for, right? Who ultimately benefits from the hard work that I do?
Patience.
It's the big wigs,
well,
right?
Yeah, well, in that,
you know what I mean? And our CEO is a woman, which is great, but there's a lot of men who are up there too. So I recognize my position in the world. A lot of times men are going to benefit from me. So I decide when my energy goes, like where my energy goes, right? So if somebody benefits from me that's a man, I want to make sure that like I'm doing this because I want to, not because I think this is leverage for me to get where I want to go.
Right.
I'm doing this because it brings me joy. And
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Because like, you know, men benefit from women. They do.
They do. Way more than women benefit from men.
Yep.
I agree. Yeah, it's funny. If any local comic is out there listening to this, like, if you're doing comedy for money, you're in the wrong fucking job, because
you're just in the wrong city.
Yeah,
like, you
right.
can make money off of comedy,
not
in
Chico.
Chico.
No.
But I mean, like DNA.
Even the promoters
Well,
don't make money.
And I want to say that I'm not just saying this to say it. That's true. And also, what's true is I really appreciate DNA, because he has opened this world up to me and made me feel like I'm capable of doing this, right? And I have learned from him. And I've also learned that with any man, I have to have a boundary there. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Well, yeah, there is also a benefit too, because if you were in a big city, like, not only would a comedy producer not have paid you, but he also would have tried to sleep with you as well. So, like, that is a benefit that, you know, like, at least with DNA, you're like, well, if you tried to sleep with me, I'm freaking going over Facebook all over with this, you know?
When I started the classes, I really appreciated, he was kind of like, look, Roxanne, I think you might have been there for it. You need to be careful. Like, you need to watch your drinks. You need to make sure if it's dark, you're parked safe. You need to make sure that you're, you know, he really honed in on like all these things that like really reflected, there's like people out there that are gonna try to fuck with you or take advantage of you. Just stay in your lane. You know, so I really appreciated that, you know.
I'll tell you one story too, just as a little bit of a warning for when you get booked out of town. There was this girl comic up in Reading named Kylie. She still does it. I actually saw her on Saturday. She killed it. She headlined up at Reading. But she got booked for a show down in the Bay Area. And the guy said, oh, I'll pay you $100 if you come out here. And so she comes out for the show, and he gives her $30. And he's like, you know, come out to the car with me after the show and I'll give you the rest. And so she went out to the show, car with him after the show. And they like get in the car and he's like, yeah, if you want to earn the other 70, basically you have to come stay at my hotel room with me tonight. And she was like, luckily I had enough gas money to just be able to go home on my own. But like, if I was relying on that 100 to get home, you know, I wouldn't have had anywhere to go. I would have just been stuck in San Francisco. Or whatever,
hopefully
you know?
she blasted that guy and that guy doesn't do shows anymore.
I don't even know what happened, but like I hear those stories all the time. Like especially when I was down in LA, there was all types of stuff I would hear about with like comics just doing the most wild stuff, you know, and especially the comedy producers. And so I mean, yeah, be careful of Bob asking on one of the shows.
That's why I freaked out.
Me too, man.
Last thing about that show, was that show like sold out?
I think there might have been like a couple tickets left.
But it was pretty packed.
I would say it was full. But it was fun. I had a really good set. And he was like, you were on fire last night. And I'm always giving him whiplash.
Nice.
Because I'm like, I love doing this. It's so great. Then I have this like fire set. And he was just like, you did so good. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do this anymore. I'm too busy. Sam, what the fuck do you want? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe
to get paid?
Yeah, maybe to fucking get half of the $120 I brought in.
Well, I told him, because he did say when I first started, he was just like, look, I can get you on some sets, like in Sacramento. Like, I will put you on shows. I will, but you have to go out there. And I said, well, I get paid? And he said, yeah. I said, the only way I'll go out there is if I get paid enough to pay for my nails. And at the time, my nails were costing me about $250 over 3 weeks.
Oh, damn.
And I said, that's the only way I'm going to do it. And he said, well, you're not going to get paid that much. And I said, then I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Like, my time is valuable. If I am a Friday night in Chico, that's fine.
Right.
He's tripping though, because if you produce that show, you could probably produce a show, and with the amount of friends you have and stuff like that, you could make like $250 off of a show here in Chico. So I mean, like, it's ridiculous to tell people that you could. You say that, but it's so easy when you just execute stuff like when you planning it and you're.
You keep saying this, but do a show and we'll talk.
Yeah,
I promise you, I'll get a show.
You have to pay the
right
venue.
here in the backyard.
You buy alcohol, like you have to pay the people. Like
right,
there's
the
other
headliners.
there's other headliners, right? So
I was gonna circumvent all that. I was gonna headline my own show in my backyard.
Well, there you go. But then you just gotta get people to show up.
Yeah, I don't think it would be that hard, dude. Especially during the summer, you know. But I mean, like, you could get down in Sacramento right now. And, like, without even connections and stuff, you could be getting, like, $150 to headline a spot within a couple months. It is, like, I started up here in Chico, and I was making the drive down to Sacramento and stuff like that, and Dylan was telling me, oh, there's no way you can become professional, there's no way you can do this. And then within, like 6 months, I was being booked for, like, casino shows and stuff like that. They were like, how did you get that? Because I just asked. Yeah, because I sucked some dick.
Something I teach. This is literally what I teach. If you don't ask, you don't get.
You won't ever get it. Yeah, and so people will try to
you're
gatekeep
also tall.
it. I mean, it does. I do have a lot of like assets, you know.
One of my bits in my last set I was working on was tall guys. So, can I share this joke?
Of course, that's what this is for.
Yeah, we love to share jokes.
It's so there's two type of men I hate. There's tall guys. Right? You didn't do anything to earn your height, and you're fucking entitled. So sit down and shut the fuck up. And the other kind of guy I hate is a guy with a big dick, because you also didn't do anything to earn that. So when you tell me to sit down and shut the fuck up, I say, yes, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say joke's on you, because I love to be told to sit down and shut up.
That's hilarious.
No, that's great. Yeah. Do you want to take a quick pause? I saw you checking in.
Oh, I'm okay. It was like a little question mark. She asked me. She wants to. I'll text her back real fast.
Yeah, no worries. Here, let's take a quick pause. All right, so we're back from our quick pause, and we have opened the 12-pack.
The mystery beer.
And so we figured it out. Bob, do you want to explain to the good people at home what
so it's supposed to be a variety pack, 3 bottles of 4 different varieties of Torpedo IPA.
It's supposed to have Sierra Nevada Pacific Torpedo IPA, Sierra Nevada Torpedo IPA, Extra IPA, Dank Torpedo IPA, and Atomic Torpedo IPA. But unfortunately, it is just Atomic Torpedo IPA.
Which happens to be the strongest of the 4 beers at 9.2%. So I'm guessing a friend of mine who I think I might know who it is now, because I know someone who bottles for Sierra Nevada. So maybe a friend of mine got a bunch of them and was like driving close to my house, because I do live pretty close to Sierra Nevada, and he'd be like, oh, Bob likes to drink really strong beer, I'll give him this. But still, why wouldn't you put it on the doorstep? Why would you put it in the middle of the driveway?
Or like a quick text.
Yeah, just a quick text. Yeah, do you think it's safe to drink, though? Would you drink this?
I would.
Okay, all right. That's all the assurance I needed right there.
I changed my stance. I would drink it.
Okay. Well, then, you know, I'm not too worried about it. I think we'll be all right.
Do you want a cup? I want to pour a little cup for you.
Sure. I have sticky lip gloss on. So
oh, yeah. Do you want like a water bottle or a Diet Pepsi, too?
I'm okay. I have my little water situation.
I don't share beverages with people, because my girlfriend has like all sorts of autoimmune disorders.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, that's
So I
thoughtful.
try not to.
Yeah. I'll just take like a teeny tiny. I don't even really need any, to be
No,
honest.
I want you to try it.
Okay.
My girlfriend has all sorts of horrible disorders.
I didn't say that. She has 3 different autoimmune disorders.
What's she have?
She has Hashimoto's, which we really don't even worry about, because it's so minor compared to the other one. And then she has lupus, which is the big one. And then she has HLH, stands for 3 really long words that I can never pronounce. And it's a really rare autoimmune disorder that only, at the time she got diagnosed, which was 2 years ago, only 2,000 people in the world had it.
Wow.
So very rare and deadly. When it's active, your life expectancy is like very short.
Oh,
but it's dormant right now.
That's good.
And so hopefully it'll stay dormant. Do you have a bottle opener?
I got a lighter.
Oh, nice. That's.
Selena Gomez has lupus.
I know. We know. We love the show she was in with
Murderers in the Building.
Yep.
I have a hard time watching shows. I never pay attention.
And then we also watched the Hot Ones episode with her on it.
Oh, I love Chris Evans.
Yeah, Hot Ones is good.
That's like the style of interview I would love to be able to do. He's so fucking funny. I think he's just so professional, though. Speaking about that, when you were starting comedy, what were some of like your inspirations for wanting to get into it? Did you watch a lot beforehand?
Yeah, growing up, like when I was in high school and stuff, I had like a TV in my room, and I didn't like sleep as a kid. It's like looking back, I was like, oh cool, I had like significant anxiety and everyone thought I was fine. But I would like stay up all night and I would just watch comedy shows, and I'd like stand-up comedy on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so funny. And I enjoy watching comedy now a lot of the time. Thank you. And
still a little warm.
Cheers.
I'm waiting for you to take a sip.
Oh, I took a sip.
I was just sitting there being like, I'm going to let Jared
this is good. It's like, almost reminds me of Bigfoot.
It kind of tastes like malty.
Yeah.
That's the bum you're in.
Yeah,
just kidding. No,
this isn't even fucking an IPA. It's just washed out iron fucking reserve or whatever they...
It definitely doesn't taste like 9.2%.
And that's why we like those beers.
Right.
Okay, so you were in Comedy Central, so I think you said before you were like mid-30s, right, is what you said, in that age range?
When? Right now?
No, earlier in the podcast. I think you said that you were like 37 when we were talking about being older for... comedy. So 37, so I'm trying to think 10 years. So you were probably watching like a lot of Mitch Hedberg, like a lot of like...
Probably. I don't really like know a lot of... People always ask me, who's your favorite comedian? And I'm like, I don't know. But there's just people that I like. I tend to like female people a lot.
Gotcha.
I can't think of her name, but she's the one. She has like a few comedy specials, and she's divorced, and her like main joke, she's like, I'm divorced, and people are asking me if I'm gonna get remarried, and she's like, absolutely not. I just got rid of them. You think I'm gonna get another one?
Oh, is she the girl with the red hair?
No, she's like, I can't think of her name. It'll come to me.
Yeah, no worries.
And I really like this other comedian. No one knows her. She got like famous on Instagram, and now she has a few comedy specials on Netflix and Hulu. But her name is Heather McMahon. And I've heard of Heather McMahon. You have?
Yeah,
no
of course.
way.
Yeah, I'm that generation for social media and all that stuff.
She's blonde. From Atlanta.
Yeah,
she has a special on Netflix. People have heard of her.
Yeah, she's hilarious. I love her because it's like, for me, it's very relatable. Like, and I have to, as a social worker, I'll have to throw out there, like, I'm not like I'm an ACSW, so I'm an associate clinical social worker, so I do like therapy and that kind of thing. But I have to recognize that I come through with a lot of privilege. So like when comedians are doing these shows, they're like, well, I need money if I'm going to do it. And for me, it's just enjoyable, right? So I have to acknowledge that. But I really like her because I can relate to her so much of like, here's my daily struggles. And I also have a $300 purse that's this big. You know what I mean? And so like that's why I like her. Because like I have all these daily struggles and things. I make light of all like her dad died and all the trauma she's been through. She makes light of it.
Yeah.
And also she's fucking fabulous. And I'm like, yes.
What's her name? Heather
McMahon. And her latest special is called Breadwinner. And it talks about how she's the breadwinner, right? And like kind of and we're seeing this in society now, right? Of like this thing of like women are becoming the breadwinners, right? And it's like men are not adjusting well to it. Some are, but
I've been doing great at it.
Look, you're tall, you got a big dick. That's all we need from you. Just sit down, shut up, clean the fucking gutters, okay?
I've realized there's nothing stopping me from asking my one night stand for gas money. And like that's felt like as a man, that's been so liberating to get to that point where she's like, so what are you doing today? And I'm like, I don't know, where are we going? You know, like, and she's like, well, you're leaving my house. And I'm like, not with that attitude, you know?
Yeah, I've realized that I don't really like watching comedy on TV. Like, I just get bored real easy and I turn it off. But like live shows, I can sit there and listen to a headliner for 45 minutes and not ever get bored. But
well, there's connection.
My TV, there's no connection.
Yeah, it's like when you're in a room, you feel it, right? And
totally.
You're with people, and it's just a different experience. And I think we're lacking that a lot of like. Comedy should be something that's shared with other people, and when you sit in a room by yourself, it's not as connecting, you know, versus if you're in a show. Even if the comic isn't that good, you're there with people, and it's the shared experience, you know?
Sometimes the best like open mics I was ever at was because someone just bombed so bad that I still remember it to this day, you know? So like definitely there's something to be said about that.
Who's the worst person that ever bombed? Who bombed the worst you've ever seen?
I've ever seen in person would probably be it'd probably be most of the Chico comedy scene when I started at Mitch Valentine's, Jesse Mitchell's 4-year-old girl who died from leukemia cancer charity comedy benefit show. Where
that just sounds awful.
Where Phil from Chico grabbed the cakes that all of them had just auctioned on. So there's these cakes that these really rich people from Oroville, Chico, all these areas are you know like these are like $1,500 cakes now, you know, like. And he grabs them as he's doing him set, and he's walking around like he's working at an Italian pizza joint. You know, he's got them like in one hand. He's like, "Who wants a cake? You want a piece of this one?" And like it's like literally like the most expensive cake. And then Sydney Hupp, do you remember her? She was still dating Donna at the time, and she got really smashed. This was before Donna and her got sober, and she went up there and she started doing like abortion and dead baby jokes at the.
You gotta read the room.
Yeah.
That's why you always need to have a fucking plan A and a plan B. You know?
That was probably the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
I've never seen Phil from Chico perform, but I've heard about him throughout the years, and it sounds like he's actually pretty successful. Right? Like, let's say for the sake of like local comedians.
I mean, he moved to New York.
Yeah, he's our Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
And he can afford to live in a car in New York.
Yeah, well.
Does he still live in New York?
Afford?
Yeah.
I think he still gets money from his parents to be able to live in the.
He does live in New York.
He has a car, yeah.
He's coming to Chico at some point in December, and I'm working with him to figure out a date where we can get him on the show.
I would love to. Phil from Chico's hilarious. That being said, maybe don't put him on a show because sometimes he comes here and then he just does like a bunch of drugs and then he's like, I'm going to do a show. And then you get like 20 minutes of shroomed out Phil being like, you know, and you're like, they're great. This is awesome.
Yeah, but that's a show. I think a podcast would be different.
For a podcast?
This.
Oh, it would be
show.
great. This would be amazing to have Phil on the podcast.
We'll do like 10 a.m. so he doesn't only do drugs.
He might still be fucked up. So to give you an encapsulation of like Phil from Chico, one of my favorite stories from Phil from Chico is he was dating this girl, and you know, even when he was here, he was pretty much homeless. Like he would like sleep at his parents' house, but he would just be like, you could just find Phil walking. Like if you drove around Chico long enough, you could just find Phil out and about like any day. You would never have any clue what he's doing. So he was dating this girl, and she picked him up, and you know, they went and did their thing and everything like that. And then 3 days later, I was chilling with Phil, and we were about to go for a show, and he was like, my girlfriend's hella pissed at me. And I'm like, why, what's up? Well, she came to pick me up yesterday, and she smelled my breath, and she's like, whose pussy is that on your breath? And he's like, it's yours. I haven't brushed my teeth since we last hung out. Yeah. That's pretty much like, that's pretty accurate for who Phil is as a person right there. Because somehow, even though that's like, they still hooked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know exactly how it worked out, but I just know Phil's one of the funniest dudes I've ever met in my life. But he's also just like, I booked him on a show. I booked him when I was doing the lab shows. And I was like, oh, finally I'm going to have like a really good headliner. I'm going to book him. He's out in town. I think he was like out here for his mom's birthday or something like that. And then he just spent the whole entire show trying to sell drugs to the audience.
He's a hustler.
Yeah, he's a hustler. That's all he does. So, I mean, Phil's a good guy, but...
That is hilarious.
I will say that, you know, like, if you want, like, a constant professional, I'd say the guy out here who's been doing, like, the most, like, headlining really good sets is probably either Dawn, Ashby, Annie Fisher, Germ Leather, or Amber Pace.
They are all four of them are wonderful people.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think Don Ashby is so kind.
So nice. Yeah.
He always.
You didn't know him when he was drunk.
Yeah, you didn't know him when he lived over by the Maltese.
I'll
That was a
say
different time.
that not all the guys are that friendly. I've had some beef, right, with some of the dudes in the comedy scene.
No,
and
Oh, I can't wait to pause this and hear
it's
We
one
know
of
who it
those
is.
things where, let's go back to that thing of like, oh, I understand why you're treating me this way.
Yeah.
I have empathy for you.
Yeah.
So I don't say the things that I want to say. I just kind of let it go. But it's
Got
like,
you.
but I remember, and I'm going to keep my distance from you, you know? And that's what I mean by these classes. If I would have just gone to an open mic, I probably would have never gone back because some of the people... You know, like I've had some of the dudes be not so kind to me, you know, and as time has gone on, it's a little different now. But also, and of course, the stuff I joke about men, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of my whole premise of my jokes are like, I date men per whatever home project I need done. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like and it's low key true, right? I'm like,
I'm just waiting for when that ceiling fan needs upgrading.
no, I broke up with this guy, and then I was like, fuck, I haven't put the fucking patio furniture away yet. I shouldn't have broken up with him yet because like he could have come over and
He could have
put
done the patio furniture
away. You know, so I was like, shit. So I
That's
told
hilarious,
myself,
yeah.
you know. But it's partly true, and so a lot of my jokes are at the expense of men. And then also I learned I need to kind of roast myself in that too. So it's not just, you know, so I learned along the way. But I can recognize that some of my jokes might, if someone isn't feeling great about themselves, my jokes might feel threatening, right? Because it might ring a little true for some of them. You know what I mean? And it's like, but like you're joking and I can find the humor in it even if I can see myself in it.
Yeah.
I can find the humor in it. You know, so some of a lot of them are really kind, right? But there's a couple that I'm like keeping my distance from you.
Yeah. So this is the portion where we guess who those dudes are.
I'm sure you guys can. It's mainly just one. I'm sure you guys can.
And his last name is the name of a hotel in Vegas or in Reno.
I don't know. No.
I don't know. I
I
don't know
a lot
hotels in
of
Reno.
Fitzgerald's.
Oh.
No, Connor's really sweet.
I don't like that guy. I'll be on the record. I don't fucking like that guy at all.
I used to work with him a long time ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he's always been a really natural storyteller. I think he's a really good storyteller.
If you're like deaf.
I don't have anything bad to say about him.
That's awesome.
Here, I'll take up the
I
mantle
like
then. I got a lot of bad stuff to say about him. I think his stories suck, and I'm sorry you had to work with him. But yeah, no, I mean, there's creepy guys every scene. I would say like the thing for, if my daughter, for instance, was to be like, hey, I want to start stand-up comedy, I would like tell her like, really happy you want to do this. You should know though that every single guy you meet is a little bit of a loser in this, even the successful ones, and they will try to pressure you into feeling less funny than them, because the whole entire reason why they're doing this is because they feel inferior to a lot of other people in general, and this is an outlet that makes them feel superior.
And they'll try to have sex with you.
And they'll probably try to they're going to try to nag you about your jokes and then try to hit on you afterwards. And if they ask you to write, they do not want to write. That's what I would tell my daughter.
Well, I definitely can say that they've tried to neg me on my jokes. I don't think anyone's tried to sleep with me, but also that's okay. I'm alright with that.
You're like, I don't mind.
But no, I think that I've experienced that a little bit of kind of like I came through and all of a sudden I was just funny. Like, I mean, you saw me when we did those things together. And I think that when I first started coming, they were just like, oh, here's this girl. There needs to be more girls in the scene, whatever. And then each week I came with like funny material, and it was always different, and it was changing. And I think it went from like, oh, here's this new girl in the scene to like, oh, here's this girl who's actually really fucking funny.
Yeah.
And then she's also successful,
Yeah.
like in her own career, and she's a homeowner, and she's all these things. And then it just felt a little bit like I was iced out a bit. So I stopped going as often, and then I started going a little more.
Dude, new material is a scary thing to comics in this whole time.
I do new material all the time. That's just the way my brain works. Like, I have such good old material that I never access because it's like, I've moved on.
Yeah.
Like, I've moved on.
That's how I feel,
I remind myself, no, you can pull that stuff because it's funny. You don't always need to have new stuff.
Well, and a lot of my stuff isn't, like, I think back to a lot of the old stuff that I was saying, and it was really shock and awe. Like, I would, like, say stuff, and then it would get a reaction, then I'd be like, oh, this works, you know? And now that it's been a while of saying it, I was actually listening to Louis C.K. on Bad Friends with Bobby Lee and those guys, and he was talking to him, and he was saying, you know, he did the same intro joke for years, like, on his specials and stuff like that. And he said he got to a point where it literally like hurt him to say it, that he just didn't even want to do it anymore because it was so not reflective. And like as comics, you can get in this trap of having a joke that works really well, that you're like, okay, I'm gonna just keep on going back to this because it works so well. But then you don't get to evolve that part of you that wants to try new things and express yourself in different ways. And so I think actually for a new comic, even if you have really successful bits, like once you get your 5 and it's tight, I think you should just put that away and start working on your brand new next 5, you know? And that's how you'll grow.
And I want to say that like now kind of, I looked to see when I started. I started doing comedy in February, so it's a little less than a year. I will say that...
Just this year, February?
Yeah.
You've been doing a whole year?
Yeah.
You're killing it.
I will say that 99% of the people I've been exposed to who I do comedy with have been really cool. It's a very small amount of people where I'm like, I'm keeping my eye on you and I'm keeping my distance from you. So I will say that.
Makes sense.
Overall, it's been a good experience, but there's a couple people. I'll tell you guys later.
Okay, and as much as like shit on, off record, yeah. As much as like shit on Chico too, like it is a good inclusive scene. Like this is a good scene to get started on. Personally, do I think that like with your talents you should be in like Sacramento or a bigger city? I personally think that because that's how I feel about just in general. If you have like comedic talent, you should try to progress into a spot where you're able to do like 5, 6, 7, 8 mics a week. You're able to like really progress because I think that's when you realize a lot of your stuff about
nightmare.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a nightmare to him, and I can see why people's perspective is that. But it's like the mindset for me comes from someone who I used to play college athletics. I used to play college basketball. So like if I was practicing basketball 2 nights a week for 5 minutes at a time, I would never ever get better. And I wouldn't even know why I wasn't getting better. I wouldn't even be able to be like, this is why this practice isn't working. So if you're in Chico and your stage time is limited to maybe 2 shows a month and 4 or 8 mics a month, you know?
Yeah.
That's 10 opportunities a month for you to get on stage for probably like a grand total of maybe an hour and a half of stage time if you're lucky.
There is a part of me, like kind of what I said earlier, if I wish this is something I had the guts to do a long time ago, because I think I would have actually pursued it. Because I do think I'm good at it, and I do think I could get better at it. But I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, there's something I haven't said.
I don't know who told you that because you're pretty. You're in the prime time of your life. Like you could go down to a fucking comedy store right now.
I don't look my age, which is my benefit. I'm almost 40. I don't look it. But there's something you haven't mentioned. You have a kid? No.
Oh, okay.
Worse. I have a blind, long-haired miniature wiener dog.
Oh.
And he's my priority.
A long-haired hot dog. I love it.
He's so cute. He went blind like 3 years ago. He has a progressive retinal atrophy.
Oh, wow.
So he's my little baby. He's
That's
fine
your guy.
now.
Yeah.
He's fine now. He can navigate and, he's good. But it's like you have these like things you have to take care of and be in charge of. And I wish I was at a place where I could actually pursue those things. Even currently with my career.
Yeah.
I could, if I wanted it enough, I could do it. But it just, it's one of those things, like life gets in the way.
Totally.
Where like, you know what? I just need a fucking wife.
Yeah.
If I had a wife,
Seriously,
oh my gosh.
you're preaching to the choir
Oh
right
my
now.
You know, I could just do everything I wanted to do.
Since I was 21, I've been like, I wish I just had a woman I could just give my paycheck to and just not worry.
And
Just
she'll
be
just
like,
manage me.
yeah, she'll just manage me. Like, I don't even need, as much as I need a wife, I just need like a PR
But
person.
here's
like,
the thing. You have to do what she tells you to do.
I'm good at that shit.
I told my ex-boyfriend, if you just listen to me and do the stuff I tell you to do, in 2 years, your life will be so much better. You will have better health, you'll have better social relationships, your career will be better, like everything will be better.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have this like part of me where it's like it's the comedian part of me where like logically I know things are true and I know that things could work out this way if I like stayed on this path, and then for some reason I'm just like, you should move to LA. You know, like you should go fucking you should live in your Subaru and try to do open mics at the fucking Laugh Factory, you know?
That's called ADHD.
Yeah, that is ADHD. That's why when I do cocaine I feel calm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, literally, I do cocaine and I'm like, wow, you guys talk a lot. Is this what I sound like normal? That's cool though. All right, I mean, I'm all out of questions.
Well,
Do you want to
should-
do the convince me not?
Yeah.
Have
Have you thought about it?
you thought about what you want to try to convince us?
I don't know. I haven't really thought of it. I mean, I have, but not really.
Let's throw out some ideas. Let's
Yeah.
help her out. All right. What about? Are there any movies or comedians or anything in the public sphere that a lot of people generally don't seem to like, that for some reason you're drawn to and you feel like a certain like you appreciate it at a level that other people don't?
Maybe that Moonstruck is a cinematic masterpiece.
Moonstruck.
Have you guys both seen that movie?
I probably saw like 20 minutes of it.
I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know what Moonstruck is.
Cher and Nicolas Cage, 1989.
I can pretty much guarantee you if I saw it, I would not think it was a cinematic masterpiece. Cher and Nicolas Cage. I mean,
although I do love Nicolas Cage.
really?
I love
The
it.
Sorcerer's Apprentice?
I love Nick Cage in the 80s.
Leaving
and
Las
90s.
Vegas.
But that's like
Gone in
what?
60 seconds.
What is it? The war god or the god of war or whatever with Nick Cage? That
right.
was a terrible movie.
Like,
He's had some real stinkers. I don't know. All right, so why do you think it's so good? I'm not familiar with the movie. Can you give me a breakdown of what happens in the movie?
I think, yes, I can give a breakdown of what happens in the movie. So it's about a woman who's older. She's very Italian. They live in New York City.
Cher.
Yeah.
And she lives with her family, and she's older. She was married. Her former husband was hit by a car.
Oh, she's a widow.
Yes.
Wow.
So no children. So now she's like dating this guy, and he proposes marriage to her.
Nick Cage.
No.
No.
This is Nick Cage's brother in the
Oh.
movie. And and I think the reason why I like it is because her character in the movie reminds me of me very much. A little
Gotcha.
cold, but loving in her own way, you know? And so basically the premise is like, she feels like this is her last chance at love, so she's just saying yes to say yes, basically.
Okay.
And he goes back to Sicily because the mom is dying. And he's like, but when I go, and they're getting married when he returns, like in a month or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, but while I'm gone, I have bad blood with my brother. So I need you to make it right. So she calls him, and this is Nick Cage, right?
Yeah.
And he's a baker. And so she calls on the phone, and he's basically like, fuck you, I hate my brother, hangs up the phone.
Yeah.
So she goes down to the bakery, and she's like, it's really important, you guys have beef, and he really wants you to be there, and this is my last chance at love, so you need to be there, basically. You guys need to put your shit aside and be there. He's like, my brother, he has his bride, he has his life, I lost my bride, I lost my life, I lost my hand. So part of it is the reason they have blood, or bad blood, is that
Wait, that's hilarious.
the reason we have bad blood is because my brother came to talk to me when I was slicing bread, and I turned my head and I sliced my hand off. And when I sliced my hand off and my fiance saw me, she dumped me. So he blamed the brother, right?
Wait, that's hilarious.
That's very funny.
That's so funny.
So then Cher is like really working to mend this relationship, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is he has an anger issue too.
Here, let me pause this real. Okay, I'm so sorry about that, but yes, continue on.
So basically, Cher starts putting in all this energy, and her name is Loretta in the film, which is one of my favorite names. But so Loretta starts putting in all this energy to mend this relationship. So what happens is she goes over to his house and she makes a mistake because she's like, "You're so angry, you're a wolf, you know. So I'm going to feed you this steak to speed your blood." And then he's just like really angry. So then it's like my favorite scene in the movie. He like flips over the table. And because he's just so pissed, so she slaps him and she's like, "Snap out of it!" And he picks her up and she's like, "Where are you taking me?" To the bed, because he's like, I love you, I want to be with you. And so they end up having sex, so that she's like, "Oh my God, I cheated on my fiance."
With his brother.
And then she tells her family, like, "I cheated on my fiance." And the mom is just like, "You're going to hell." Like, they're very Catholic, "You're going to hell." And then the dad is just like, "Oh my God." And there's so much stuff going on in this movie. It's the best movie ever. And so he was just like,
I gotta watch
"Okay,
it.
I won't be with you, but please, go with me to the opera. Just go with me to the opera and I will leave you alone after that. And I will mend my relationship with my brother." So she goes to the opera with him, but in the meantime, she goes to the salon, she gets her hair done, she gets her makeup professionally done, she goes to Bloomingdale's and gets a beautiful dress. She goes to the opera, she falls in love with him that night. So then, now they're together.
Yeah.
So now her fiance comes home from Sicily.
Oh God.
So, and Nick Cage is at the house, and the family has accepted that now she's going to break up with her fiance and she's going to marry this man, you know? And so he knocks on the door and he's like, "I'm here." And then she's just like, "Look, it's over. Like, I'm in love with your brother." And he's just like, "Okay." And then that's like the end of the movie.
But
like,
he doesn't trip about it at all?
He's just like, "What? Okay."
It would have... Oh my Jesus Christ. Okay.
So yeah, and the reason why I want to convince you guys it is an absolute
Yeah.
And I
little
think
date night.
for me, right, it's like the things that we love the most remind us of us,
Yeah.
right? So I kind of see myself in her experience a little bit. We have some differences, obviously, but like, and it also expresses this side of my family that I never really got to connect to, which is like the very, very Italian side of my family. So it's almost like I get to live this part of me through this film. You know, where the other side of my family, the Hispanic side and the indigenous side, is something I've experienced my whole life. But the Italian side, my grandma was from Brooklyn, and just, you know what I mean, just rough. And I just didn't get to experience that. So there's a part of me that I feel very connected to the film.
Gotcha.
So you guys should watch it.
Well, I mean, I think I'm convinced.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Like I said, I'm
gonna at least watch it. Yeah.
Or at least soon we have like.
But
Hey,
all right.
You want to impress a girl?
Show her that movie.
Be like, "Oh, we should watch Moonstruck. It's a really good film. It's about love."
I'm only in it because Nick Cage doesn't have a hand, but I'm for it. That's hilarious.
He's the hottest he's ever been in that movie.
An amputee Nick Cage being the hottest he's ever been is hilarious. That's so funny. Maybe I should just lose a limb.
I'd fuck him in a fucking.
You know what I'm saying? Like, girls don't care if you don't have a fucking arm or some shit. No. You could just completely have like one limb missing and go like, "That's so hot."
As long as it's not.
Well, even that. What are you talking about? They love dykes. All right, sorry. Let's move on.
All we want, we don't care if you're missing a hand, an arm. We don't care. We just want you to be nice to us.
Right.
You know.
Amen.
That's way too fucking much.
Stop beating us. You know what I mean?
Jesus. Now you're asking for a lot. What do you want? Pockets in your pants too? Come on now.
I know that far. I don't have
Come on. Best I can do is... No, I'm just joking. All right, but yeah, that was a great interview. Thank you so much for coming. Join us on the Bobcast.
Yeah, this was cool.
Do you have any things you want to like plug or any parting words you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think my parting words would just be wherever you're listening from, just support your local comics.
Nice.
Go out to local shows. Do a little research. Find out. Just support your local comics.
Yeah, speaking of that, Bob's next comedy show is February 20th at Argus.
I'm cutting this.
Tickets will be on sale, I don't know, probably in a couple weeks. But yeah,
This
support
is
your local comics.
this is getting cut. This whole entire plug. I'm fucking getting rid of it. All right, thank you so much. Yep.